Out onto the ground. They were pretty good last week against Geelong, and they've gradually got a little bit better as the season gone on. They've only won the 2 games this year. They're second bottom on the table. That's pretty rare for Carlton. They've never won the wooden spoon. You know, a superstar player that if they can shut down Tony Lockett today, Carlton would give themselves a pretty good chance of winning. There's Kelly onto the field. Crook last week still kicked 5 goals.
Unbelievable. He and Creswell, without them, Kobe, their score would have been very poor. The important play back.
Porter, Locke, White and DiUlio on the bench for Carlton. Swannies to the left of screen in the first quarter. Umpire Brian Sheehan puts it down. Oh, hit Allen on the head. Neither ruckman getting an effective tap out. Mooney crashed into the pack, concedes the free kick. It's going to Carlton. Franchina takes the hand pass from the circle. Manton leads out. Hamill taken down on the tackle. Crowd says ball is held underneath him and the umpire will ball it up. Umpires this afternoon, Brian Sheehan, Derek Humphrey-Smith and Steve McBurney. And not a bad crowd. Allen and Stafford. Past Kelly, or Schwass confronted his opponent. Missed by Seymour, close to the back pocket. Pearce kicked 5 against Sydney last year and opens with 1 behind for the Bluebaggers. Not happy with his efforts either. On the Carlton bench, as I said, Porter, Locke, White and Ronnie DiUlio down there, I think.
Wasted opportunity then, Roscoe.
It's normally his area there, KB. He normally does kick those, so he certainly was disappointed.
And Brett Ratton picking up Paul Kelly. That should be a terrific duel. Swass told by the umpire to get things moving, goes short and finds Orchard. Tucked away in the back pocket. So the Swans coming off 2 disappointing losses. Nix also still inside the defensive 50. So Carlton manning up pretty well now. A free kick has been found. And it's coming back and it's going to Franchina. It was against Wayne Swass. So that kick has been reversed. And young Anthony Franchina, just playing his 2nd season for Carlton, will be kicking from virtually right on 50. Down towards the Robert Heatley stand. Cauldron down there of Carlton supporters. It's a floppy old kick thumped away by Seymour towards the boundary line, taken away by Roos. So the big Roos goes up. He's in trouble. It's a wild hand pass. Swash is gone. Caught. They'll ball it up.
Any little willing down there. A lot at stake in this match. Carlton, as Kev mentioned, hasn't won the wooden spoon before. One of 3 candidates for that. Sydney with 7-4 win-loss ratio, vying for top place on the ladder a few weeks back, and they want to turn their season around if they can after those disasters of the last 2 weeks. It's out of bounds again. And I suppose you have to say, why not deliberate?
And Peter, the Carlton Social Club love Wayne Schwass. Of all places you don't want to do anything wrong is in front of the Carlton Social Club. Sensational here.
He'd just be nice down there, Fly. Stafford. Can't find a rover. Brown. Fumble at the crucial moment. Good tackle by Creswell. Orchard's on the bottom of that. Might be another free kick.
Going to Sydney, Pete. No, it's actually going to Carlton. The umpire brought it the other way initially.
Let's see what happened. Fraser Brown, number 20, is going to get the free kick against Creswell, I guess.
For holding the ball.
He's gone back a little bit to Manton, off a step. Out in front of goal, Sydney with numbers. Ball at the front of the pack, Humour charts. Allen kicks out of bounds on the full. So free kick to Sydney in the right back pocket, yet to cross the centre. The Sydney Swans. We've been playing 3 minutes. Kelly out to Luff. He's going to have to do it again. Crouch. Kicks in this time, big climb. Whitnell. Manton. Probably you'd suggest too far out to score. Realises that, goes in short, and the mark is taken by Pearce, very busy. Lovely ball around the man on the mark. Should drill this. Kicks a poor one though, off the hands of the pack, and through for a rush behind.
Peter, just a question for Ross Glendon. Do you think a lot of clubs now are chipping more around that 50-metre line, just trying to set things up very much like a basketball structure?
Well, they have to, Fly, because of that flooding again. If you looked at the Carlton forward line from here, there was only 3 players not in that from the Sydney Swans, so they really did congest that area, so they had to go short, Carlton.
Swatch from the edge of the centre square, goes down, taken by Lewis, looks like he might have been caught high by Allen, no free kick, taken away by Beaumont, gives it across to the skipper in Bradley. So they come away, Dean Rice thumps the ball back towards Whitnell on centre wing, and he's got it. Tremendous young talent, Whitnell. Comes away to the half-forward line, kicks back towards Pearce. It's a great kick, he's going to make ground. Couldn't quite get there. Seymour's there along with Dunkley, the tackler, loose ball. They've got the numbers. Seymour just grubs the ball towards the boundary line in front of Sannington and Koutafidis, and they'll toss it back in. Brett Ratton on screen. Picking up Paul Kelly early in this game. On the boundary throw in, Allen pushing and shoving with Stafford. Bradley just paddles the ball along, Swash, the tackler. Over the top is Creswell, and he's been pinged.
Well, both Swash and Creswell called for that. No attempt made to get rid of the ball, KB, so the free kick paid.
So they go short and find Nix. It's on the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground, looking for O'Loughlin, the All-Australian, quick hands, gives it across to Orchard. Kick and a half out from goal, pops up in the air. Lockett versus Silvani. Silvani wins the first battle. Maybe not the war. Kicks the ball wide, gets it going very quickly out towards Allen. Wants a kind bounce. Stafford closing quickly. Back to Rice on the half-back line. Does well, gets around Maxfield and kicks down towards the centre wing, looking for Camporelli.
Camporelli underneath it, running with the flight of the ball. Good mark, courageous mark. Not the greatest of kicks. Pearce, who's had a very busy first quarter. Dunkley back into the side after suspension, and he'll make a big difference to the Sydney defence, which so far in the match has been under siege, but they still haven't been able to register a goal. Just 2 behinds. Pearce kicked one, the second one came off the hands of the pack, off a Pearce kick actually. Whitnell taps it down. Hume, good
Great
smother down there by
yeah.
Dunkley. Hamill, quick hand pass again. Pearce, centering kick intended for Ratton. Kelly, Orchard, quick kick out of the congestion. The ball bounces outside 50. It's going to be a foot race. Saddington and Murphy. Saddington in front. Now Seymour. Free kick going Carlton's way, is it?
No, it's going to Saddington, Pete, for being held onto.
Saddington, short of right centre wing. Crowd says play on, but he hadn't got over the mark. Looks for O'Loughlin, trying to come back into some form. So far, okay. O'Loughlin from right centre wing. Player on his own is Creswell at right half forward flank. Gets around Koutafidis, long bomb, Lockett and Silvani. Lockett! What a grab, one each!
Fantastic setup there, well played by O'Loughlin too to spot Creswell. And then Lockett called for that to be centred, but in fact he carried a bit further. And to take a mark like this, stumbling backwards, control the ball, outstanding.
He
and
really stretched every sinew there, didn't he?
Also got poked in the eye, I think, KB.
He did, he was holding his eye, wasn't he? He put around at a pretty fair angle, but big plugger.
Very
Should be able
important,
to draw that.
very important for him to kick this, but it doesn't matter how many goals you've kicked in the career, you still want one early just to get your confidence right.
1,213 actually. He's just asking where the mark is, where the player is going to come back from. I think he knows pretty well. Silvani giving him a clear shot here, he'll come around. Lockett kicks and goals.
And we'll look for a new footy, Pete. That's gone out of the ground. Important setup by Sydney. Across half-back, they work very hard to get that ball down. And I think Michael O'Loughlin's the key player from across half-forward. He needs to get a fair bit of it today. And when he does, he's a quality player. He's the one that set up Creswell here. Koutafidis perhaps not hard enough to try and effect a smother there. Just tried to sit off Creswell. Outstanding mark there by Lockett. Good stuff.
And Big Plugger certainly has got a finger in the eye. Just having a chat there to the doctor. So the Swans by 4 points. Allen got his hands on the ball first, overrun by Swash, taken away by Stafford. So once more the Swans into attack inside 50. Silvani hits the ball hard, then unloads, gets it back towards Bradley, tries to set it up wide, finds Beaumont. So they run the ball out of defence. Rice picking up a couple of early touches back towards centre-half forward. Whitnell's in front. He had 3 to beat. Numbers win out. Nix gets the ball across. Back to Orchard, back to Nix, who goes short looking for Swash. A great interception there by Franchina. Thumps the ball back over the line.
KB, just getting back to Tony Lockett, you notice that even if it was his first kick at goal or his 1213th or whatever it was, he still takes the same amount of time, lines up and concentrates to really make sure that it's through the middle. So
Whitnell with strength, beats Roos, then gets a bump from Swass. Under pressure was Crouch. He's got the free kick too high. So the youngster from Norwood in South Australia just finding his feet in AFL football from the centre wing. Mooney's going to be a target. It's a poor kick, sets it up to Manton. There's been a few poor kicks so far, Roscoe.
Absolutely wasted. Can I actually ask Fly quickly, is that shifting turf down in front of you there? Looks pretty soft from up here.
Yeah, the ground, there's a lot of divots. The ground is in pretty good condition, but it's very much quite softer, probably, I suppose, in the first 4 or 5 centimetres. So if you do slide, you'll lift the surface off the ground. But there's no excuse from the kicking point of view. It's great conditions here, Roscoe, as you know. If you concentrate, keep your head over the ball, it'll hit your teammate.
4 points the difference. Thanks, Fly. Ball up. Left half forward flank for Sydney. Big lick by Mooney. Sexton. Shout. Oh, gee, we've seen a few knee injuries happen like that, but he's okay, Sexton. Comes up with the football. Schwass takes it out of bounds in front of Franchina, and we'll see a throw in about 70 metres out from goal. Approaching an important milestone. Wayne Schwass, big job from the youngster, Franchina. Sexton up high. O'Loughlin, third kick for the day, centering kick. Stafford, nearly. Allen mops up well. Good long kick that time. Whitnell in front, palms to the front. Murphy, was he held by Seymour? Nix, umpire says play on. Nix does. Looks for Kelly, finds him at right half back. Tries to get around and does get around Koutoufides. Nelson nearly takes it out. Beaumont short of centre wing. That's a terrible kick straight to Creswell. Well, some of the field kicking, as we mentioned, not so good. That wasn't a good kick either. Lewis inside 50, goes at goal, and he kicks Sydney second.
Gee, it's a good kick, Pete, because I thought he should have centred the ball to the top of the square. It's his non-preferred right foot that he kicked that goal with, which was outstanding. But, by gee, he had to kick it because he had 2 options in front of him at about 20 metres. Bit of quality about this player. And just, as you said, Pete, a poor kick. Just a, well, it's as costly a turnover as you can get here that results in a goal from a poor kick coming off half-back.
Good start by the Swans. Lewis, such an important player. He's missed the few games early this season, but along with Tony Lockett, just adds that bit of bite to the forward line. Here's Bradley. He's also picking up a few touches, looking for Fraser Brown. A couple of old heads combined. Nix takes it over for the Swans.
KB, you can just understand how frustrating it is from a coach's point of view, and you'd know that, watching that poor kick from Beaumont going straight to, I think it was Creswell. Instant goal. One mistake, and they pay for it in a goal.
But we can see a few foot marks down on the oval there, Russell, so obviously a little bit slippery to get your footing, to get a good kick away, something the players will have to work on. Overrunning the ball, going to ground, going in very hard now is Rice, and we can see once more a player just slipping over. Here's O'Loughlin. He's taking the slips catch.
Well done by Max. Covey, well done by Max to get that footy initially.
To Creswell, under pressure from Hume. Goes short, finds the loose player. It's Crouch on the edge of the centre square. Again, he's looking for Lockett. He's got a long way to make up ground. Great play by Beaumont. Came out, got his body on the line. Silvani under pressure.
Run too far, has he?
No, free kick for an attempted trip there. The umpire's paying that for.
Should be 50 metres, if that's the case.
Yes.
KB, you mentioned the slipping, but if players are slipping, wouldn't you wear screw-in boots? I mean, you've got 2 options. You can either wear the moulded soles when it's really dry, but if it's soft, wear screw-ins, and obviously you won't slip over them. It's pretty simple stuff.
Just common sense. Silvani now from inside the centre square. Here comes Pearce. Hit the ball hard. It's a loose ball on the half-forward line for the Blues. They pile on top. Camporelli at the bottom of the pack. And they'll ball it up. 45 metres out from Carlton's goal. So a beautiful 15 degrees in Melbourne. So Allen versus Stafford. Nice tap down to Fraser Brown, all tied up by Crouch, and again they'll ball it up.
Just inside 50. At the halfway mark of the first quarter, the Blues goalless so far, but they've certainly had a lot more of the play inside their 50-metre arc than Sydney. Stafford wins it down. Creswell out to the centre wing and space. There's not much out there except the boundary umpire and maybe Aaron Hamill. So a throw in front of the small scoreboard out of side. No real wind advantage here today. Had some gale force winds in Melbourne during the week, but it would appear almost benign today. Fraser Brown, Kelly, Ratton, tackled by Luff. Umpire says play on. Franchina and Ratton. Carlton win the hard ball. Punch away by Camporelli. May have infringed.
He has been over the shoulder and trying to spoil that ball.
Orchard to take the free kick, short of right centre wing. Goes inboard to Nix. Still short of midfield. Creswell, who set up the last goal for Sydney. Straight down the spine of the ground this time. Lockett and Silvani. It rebounds to Nelson. Gets on his bike quickly. Inside his own defensive 50. Kicks straight down the ground again. Maybe another opportunity for Nix. Closely pursued by Whitnell. Gives it back to Seymour. Mops up well. Schwass needs a bounce. Ruse ducks the head. Gets it back to Orchard. Sydney's defence working overtime, but working well. Up towards Kinnear. Loses it, regains it. Lovely ball. Terrific smother. That was from Hamill. The umpire says Carlton free kick. So Hamill to take the free, left centre wing. As we see that in replay.
Just taken around the neck, Pete. Yep.
On the shoulder. Opportunity for the Blues to go forward again. Ratton. Double-pronged attack here. Whitnell runs into goal. He'll give it away. Rice should goal into the 10-metre square. Puts through Carlton's first.
Clever play there, Pete, by Whitnell too, to bring the ball back inside. He thought he could have a shot at goal there, but he's just too tight on an angle there, and Rice just sat there. Good play by Pearce too to get Dunkley out of the contest. Just sat him underneath the ball. Well played by Whitnell to set that up.
I think he was almost anticipating doing the banana kick, wasn't he? The way he was going to hold the ball. Heard the voice from Rice, kicked the goal.
"12 plays, 8. So the Swans by 4 points. At last, reward for Carlton. Stafford goes early, beaten that time by Allen. O'Loughlin hasn't been in his best form this year. Taken away by Kelly. Looks pretty fit today. Last week he was in doubt, still kicked 5 goals. Saddington got the bounce he wanted, kicks the ball down towards half-forward line. It's a poor kick, and Manton will clean up. He's got the loose player wide. Koutafidis. Again, the Blues trying to set it up. Kicks the ball down where Hamill comes out and takes a strong grab over the top of Seymour. Loose player's been set up, looking for Ratton. Here comes Swash. Franchina, the crummer, kicks hurriedly back towards centre half forward. Whitnell stands his ground. Stafford too big over the top. Takes the grab. So young Whitnell, just in his second year of AFL football, the big job of playing at centre half forward. Swans come away through Crouch. Goes short to Mooney. Looking for his best form. Does well, clever tap on towards Creswell, back to Mooney. That'll lift his confidence from the edge of the centre square. Finds Luff. He can run inside 50. He can bang away. Luff from point blank range kicks a goal.
Well, Blake's an EKB there to set that up from half back. Mooney looked as if he might have lost control of the foot. He was kept it going forward and he had plenty of support. He had 3 or 4 teammates around him. Creswell came inside to help him out, got the ball back to Mooney. And they just chipped that ball short again. Watch this, he nearly lost control but kept the ball in front of him. Cleverly tapped it on. 1-2, back to Mooney. And Luff just turning, had the option to short pass to Lockett, who's leading toward him. Ignored that straight through. Good finish.
Troy Luff kicks the goal for Sydney, and the Swans lead by 10 points. Allen, straight to Creswell. Bouncing ball, knock on by Lewis. Looking for Philandia, couldn't find him. Ratton's hand pass, taken by Sexton. Kicks over the head of Maxfield. Blues have the numbers on centre wing. Creswell outnumbered. Koutafidis Kicks it in short up towards right half forward. Opportunity for young Franchina. Nearly Bradley, the skipper. Seymour out bustles. Nix is there. So too is Hume. Crouch tries to pick it up. The umpire will ball it up. About 40 metres out from Carlton's goal. The Sydney Swans leading by 10 points. 18 plays 8 at Optus Oval.
Peter, that was an excellent effort from Craig Bradley there. The ball could have just been whisked away by the Swans defence, and he really fought hard to keep it in that 50, and that's what all the Carlton forwards have to do, and also score, of course.
Whitnell palms it down, but straight to Crouch. Crouch's kick into space again on the outer side. Mooney wouldn't want to fumble this time. Koutafidis has just about got him. That's a terrific hand pass to Saddington, the youngster from the Eastern Rangers. 2 bounces. He'll have a third, will he? Yes, he will. Lewis comes in for the Shepherd. Just outside 50. No one home. Philandia a little bit late, and the mark taken by Nelson in the back pocket. Silvani. Silvani's kick to the half-back line. The boundary line is closest. That's the best ally he could have found on that occasion. Kicks it over in front of Beaumont for a throw-in about 70 metres out from the Sydney Swans goal.
Just over 6 minutes of action left in this first quarter.
Paul Kelly's gone to the forward pocket to KB, and he's taken Ratton with him. Ratton won't be happy to be down. He'd rather be in the action.
Sydney by 10 points. O'Loughlin started well, gets it back to Seymour. Tries to drill it. Here comes Kelly. Does well. Clever play, taps it on. Camporelli first to recover, gets the ball back. Ratton across half back. It's a poor kick. Trying to find Franchina. Puts it out on the full. So Swass coming up for his 4th possession. Goes to Creswell. He's also had a big opening term. Possession number 8 coming up. It's been pretty handy along with Orchard. He's picked up a lot of possessions across half back. Creswell kicks down towards centre half forward. Nelson drops the mark. Gets the free kick, so advantage is paid. Silvani a long way in front of Tony Lockett. The hand pass was a poor one. Picked up by Pearce. Thumps the ball back towards the half forward line. Finds a loose Craig Bradley. He's got a loose player in Allen. Good play by Stafford. Holds it up well.
Yeah, very well played too, KB. Exactly right. Stafford just knew he had to hold him up because Creswell was miles away, and he did the right thing there. Creswell picking up Allen. It's a mismatch. At least they're manned up.
So Whitnell's going to be the high flyer in front. Couldn't take it on the second grab. Kicked off the ground.
Pearce.
That's a goal by Pearce.
Yes, that's a real opportunist goal there by Brad Pearce.
I think he's been watching the World Cup, don't you?
It was cleverly done too, because there's no question they did the right thing in setting that up. Craig Bradley towards Allen, who was one-on-one with Creswell, and the pack congested on them, or conversion then I should say. He just held that up. Well done by Stafford initially to get back in cover.
So Pearce got the goal, an opportunist goal if ever there was one. The difference back to 4 points. Rice kicks it straight into O'Loughlin. 4th kick, 3 hand passes. He's done well so far, coming back with some great form. That's what Sydney needs. Silvani's won most of the duels down there against Lockett, but Lockett's kicked a goal. Sexton, Philandia and Saddington. That's out of bounds. Big plugger. Took a terrific mark for his first and only goal so far in this quarter. Dunkley back into the side today. Hasn't done too much so far, trying to find his feet again. Bradley, the veteran, bad kick. Nix. Across the half-back line for Sydney. He'll bring play towards centre wing. Roos, a little bit of a push on Whitnell. Umpire put the whistle away. Roos tries to drag it back off a step. Collision down there. Ratton, Rice, Whitnell, 2 redheads combining. Brushes the tackle from Maxfield. Mongrel punt off the boot, straight into the arms of Dunkley. He'll give it over to Luff, who kicked Sydney's last goal. Luff up towards centre field. Manton takes the mark in front of Creswell. Offloads it back to Ratton. Dual best and fairest winner at Carlton. Camporelli, lovely juggle in front of Saddington. A worm bender to Murphy. Tries to get it back to him. Ratton nearly caught. Allen and Stafford lope after it. Big Stafford flips it up to Seymour, almost a throw, and Orchard takes it short of right centre wing.
He's having a very big opening term to Saddington, the youngster, a super young talent. Kicks the ball down. He was looking for Mooney, but Manton again makes great ground. been superb. Carlton trying to set it up. Ratton. Short to Rice, he's going to be run down. Good enough to get the ball away quickly. So Carlton continue to come forward wide. Here comes Nelson. He's got plenty of time to set it up to the half-forward line. Looks for Hamill. He needs a kind bounce. Out in front of Luff goes the ground. Hume. Youngsters just starting to make a mark on the game. Dunkley traps it. Well tackled by Pearce. Hamill with strength. Can't get away. Gets it back. Pearce runs into the open goal and bangs it through. Great play, Carlton.
That's terrific pressure by the forwards there of Carlton. And good running too off half-back by Nelson also to try and set that up. Got away from Kelly. Took off from the back pocket, did Nelson. The ball finished up here in that pocket. Could have been a free kick up there. But Hume just pushed that ball forward. And just plenty of pressure there by the Carlton forwards. Just gets that ball back. Hamill involved, just hung on to it long enough. Pearce on the overlap. Well played.
Rodney Eade pulling his hair out. Looks to be getting a little thin on top after 2 successive defeats like Essendon and St Kilda gave the Sydney Swans. You'd wonder why. This is Brown. Pearce has kicked 2 goals from 6 kicks. Whitnell, cleverly. Orchard taken down on the tackle. Crouch. Doesn't bounce too kindly for Hugh. Maxfield tries to get it to Roos, which he does. Back to Orchard. Apples kicks up towards centre wing. Creswell late on the scene. Franchina applies a tackle. It will be a ball up on centre wing. 20 plays 18. The Blues in front. They've only won 2 matches this year.
Umpire Brian Sheen got one right in the conch there. Ball returned to him, hit him fair on the snoz.
Umpires are in the wars this year. In fact, Brian limped off 1 match this year. I think it might have been at Football Park.
Umpire Grant Vernon got bowled over about 3 times last night.
He did. Yeah. Bradley gets bowled over. It's going to be a free kick to his teammate in Fraser Brown. Back to Manton, who's had a terrific first quarter. The former Bomber. This is Beaumont. Around Kelly. Past Nix. Looks for Allen on his own.
That was a good kick.
Well, he had to outmark his opposite number 24, who was Orchard. Stood him about a foot.
Cleaned up camp early in the meantime. He's getting up really sluggishly.
Silvani. Franchina. Oh, mark, free kick. No, not paid by the umpire. Did seem to collect it, or get collected high.
Interesting to see Stephen Silvani so far down the ground. He actually took that ball on the edge of the centre square. So he's a good 90 to 100 metres from goals, and he's dragged Tony Lockett down with him. We see Sexton on the interchange bench there, just in that little shot.
Dunkley, outnumbered, Fraser Brown. Maxwell comes in to lend assistance. It's going to be another ball up.
Yeah, he's taken off about 3 or 4 minutes ago, Kev, that Michael Sexton. He didn't appear to have anything wrong with him, so maybe just the match up there, but I would have thought the quality play he was, I'd prefer to see him on the ground, but maybe there's a problem we don't know about.
The Blues by 2 points. Another chance of the ball up inside 50. Ratton kicks a high ball. Roos versus Whitnell. Looking for the bounce. Gets good support. Pounced on by Maxfield. Comes away from the half-back line. Heads towards the boundary line. Kudafides, the cold hero of Carlton. Optus oval on 50. Again, another poor kick. This could bounce through. Wrong side. Would have been a lucky goal. Didn't quite come off the boot.
Did very well to control the footy, though, Cab, in the first place in the contest with Mooney, to keep the ball going forward, then take control of it. Often it's hard to settle quickly enough to get a decent kick away when you've done all that hard work.
Been a terrific first term by Carlton. Just winning the 2 games of this year. Sydney has been down on its best form, losing last week. It's to the Bombers as the siren sounds to end a very entertaining first term, with Carlton going in at the first break. 3 points up, 3-3-21 to Sydney's 3 straight goals 18. Tony Lockett has kicked 1 in his big duel with Stephen Silvani, and Brad Pearce has booted 2 for Carlton.
Brad Pearce seems to like playing against Sydney. I mentioned he's kicked 5 against the Swatties last year, and today 2 goals from 6 kicks, I think it is, in the first quarter, so he's been off to a flying start. 6 kicks and 1 mark to Brad Pearce, and that one he kicked off the ground. Absolutely sensational. So Rodney Eade, not with a few problems at the moment, but certainly Carlton with a lot more of the footy. They could have been perhaps even further in front so far at quarter time. But it's a margin of 3 points at Optus Oval. The Blues 3-3, the Swans 3 goals. We'll take a break.
He's got 2 already, Pete. 3 to go for Brad Pearce. He will have 5 by the match.
Thanks, Fly. Yes, the way he's playing, it suggests that'd be a pretty fair option, I'd reckon. 3 points the difference at the start of the second quarter here at Optus Oval. Won by Allen, hits it straight to Creswell, off a step, kicks it back, well, still inside the centre square. Marking contest, rebounds to Kelly. Didn't see too much of the Sydney skipper in the first quarter. Valandia applies a tackle on Nelson.
3 possessions to Kelly in the opening term.
Wasn't quite an effective tackle, so we'll put it down as a half Nelson. Bounce inside the square. I just thought of it on the spur of the moment. Ross
Sure you did.
sorry.
Sure. It's written in front of you, I can see.
Saddington, no, I don't do that. I know who does. Creswell should go from there, and he does. Just what Sydney needed to start the second quarter.
Well, we mentioned in the opener, Pete, it was important that Sydney start well. Their last 6 games, they've finished quarter time behind. They've done it again today. But they can open up in this second quarter with the first score and continue on. It was important. They've done that. And Creswell has been an important player throughout the course of the game so far. He's just such a workhorse and finishes off so very well. That's another example.
KB really enjoying the action, loving to be at Optus Oval.
There's Stewie Maxwell and Troy Cook sitting on the bench there. Hoping to get into the action in this second quarter. So a good start by Sydney. They lead by 3 points. The Blues come into attack. Again, Whitnell pushing and shoving with Ruse. Dunkley, welcome addition back into the side. The defence looks so much stronger with Andrew Dunkley there. Going to ground is White. Now the whistle is gone and a free kick off the ball to Bradley against Stevens maybe.
Yes. Just some jostling. The umpire saw that. Interfered against was Bradley, so he gets the free kick.
8 possessions in the first quarter to the skipper. He missed the start of the season through injury. It's starting to motor now. Kicks down towards Fraser Brown, too much carry on the ball. They've paid advantage, so Nix comes away. He's on the burst through the centre square, goes short, finds O'Loughlin, good play to set it up. Mooney wants it short, he's off, gone, caught. Great turnover for Carlton. Camporelli now gives it across to Allen. Wants to fire it off Franchini. It was a poor handball. Hit him at the feet. Needed to be up. Wasted opportunity maybe for Carlton. Again Camporelli puts the foot on the pedal. Kicks back in towards centre half forward. Whitnell's out in front. Good mark in front of Ruse.
Isn't it amazing, Kev, just that one mistake. He plays on quickly. Good
Looking
thinking.
for Hume.
Good running by Hume, KB. Came right through from the centre square. It's amazing how much it hurts you. A good example there of just that mistake by
O'Loughlin.
O'Loughlin, I should say. I was going to say McPherson. O'Loughlin, just a decision to play on, then thought, no, I won't play on. He crossed the line, was called play on, loses possession, and then we see a shot at goal the other end of the ground.
Just to put Carlton 3 points in front. He's got it.
Hume gets the goal. First time I've seen Carlton this year. I must admit, the numbers intrigue me. The serifs they have on top of the ones. Now you look at Bradley's number, looks very similar to 27, doesn't it? If you understand what I mean. The 7 looks very similar to the 1. 4-3 to 4 goals. 18 minutes left in the second quarter. Three-point game again. Allen doing well at the centre bounces. Down to Allen. Down to Murphy, I should say. Rice takes the hand pass. Franchina gobbled up in the tackle. Ball jarred free. Comes to Creswell. Creswell at half-back tries to set it up to Saddington. That could be 50 metres. No. Had a great season, the youngster.
It's a poor kick, Pete, but very lucky it found Philandia.
Came off okay. Peter Philandia. 2 knee reconstructions on his CV. Lachlan, that turnover he had before when he went to play on resulted in a goal to Carlton. He'll be very anxious that doesn't happen this time. It doesn't. Lockett on the lead. Should mark. Nearly. Arguably a free kick, but not paid. Camporelli. Seymour. Schwassworth Murphy and also Franchina. Camporelli, did he keep it in play? Franchina close to the boundary line still. Boundary umpire says now it's out, and it will be thrown in 60 metres from the goal.
What do you think about this, Roscoe?
Well, their first attempt, I thought he might have hung on to it, but then was just on the way down.
Seen worse paid as a free kick, haven't you?
Yes.
We saw Lockett's free kick stats at the start of the program. Chance for a Sydney goal now. Philandia off target, out of bounds, or is it a behind? It's the latter. One behind, kicked by Peter Philandia. His first score of the day to make the difference 2 points, 4-1 to 4-3. Silvani, great deal with Lockett so far, and the mark is taken by Brett Ratton.
Inside the defensive 50, he can take his choice. He goes for Fraser Brown, then stands and delivers. Allen's got 2 to beat. Stafford with a big fist away. Rice at ground level keeps the ball alive. Murphy takes it over. So they'll toss it back in on centre wing. Justin Murphy. Just the 4 handballs in the game so far. Stafford versus Allen. Been at it all day. The player really got his hand on the ball, shoveled out by Hume to Camporelli, tries to set it up to Rice on the edge of the centre square. Kick the Blues goal in the opening term, kicks the ball wide, looking for Fraser Brown. Hume comes in hard, they pile on top.
Seymour still in trouble after that tackle at centre wing. He got one in the ribs.
A little bit sick and sorry for himself, Brad Seymour. They'll ball it up 60 metres out from Carlton's goal. Pearce is in the goal square, he's booted 2.
Here it is here, watch this one.
Beaumont from inside 50, Murphy caught underneath the ball, the race is on. Nix, good defensive play, puts it over. 27 plays, 25.
KB,
11 possessions and 5 marks, the Nix, Russell. He's had a big game so far.
Certainly has been sensational for that half-back line, but speaking of his teammate, Brad Seymour seems to be okay. I think you asked the question of Michael Sexton. I think he just was dragged. I mean, I can only speculate, but
It looks that way, Ross.
Yeah, he seems okay.
Yep.
So White just pumps the ball back towards the goal square. And Dunkley is very happy to see the ball trickle over the line.
As you stand in front of us now, Russell, Sexton just warming up with the other interchange players, so physically he seems okay.
Boundary throw in.
Pretty rare to see him off the ground. He's been such a great player.
Well, first time for a long time.
Whitnell and Luff. Luff wins it. Might have given away a free kick. He has.
Over the shoulder.
Well, Tony Lockett will be wondering why he didn't get the free kick against Silvani for a similar offence at the other end.
Yeah, it's all interpretation, Pete, isn't it? There he is in front.
Well, gee, if that was a free kick, then Pluggers certainly should have got one. All players want is a bit of consistency, and as you said, it's a matter of interpretation.
Yes, umpire Derek Humphrey-Smith interpreting that to be interference. So Whitnell with an important shot at goal here.
Carlton already leading by 2 points. This would give the Blues their biggest break of the game to date. Whitnell hasn't scored a goal so far in the match. He has now. No, he hasn't. He's missed. Paul Roos looking a tad the worse for wear as the margin goes out to 3 points again. And Roos limping cost Sydney possession there, but Crouch comes up with the football. That's a beautiful field kick. Nathan Buckley finds its target in Luff. Luff kicks towards centre half forward. Well, Mark should have been gobbled up there by Mooney. Missed it. Goes to Nelson. Nelson across the ground. Brings it back up towards midfield where Stafford takes the mark. Well, don't argue. Stafford at midfield looking for options at half forward. Goes to Orchard. Certainly not much closer to goal. And Whitnell gets him.
They'll bring the ball back, Peter.
Yep.
There was no advantage there for Carlton.
He took half an hour. So another turnover, which he wouldn't be happy with, may give Carlton a scoring opportunity. Camporelli with the mark. Orchard stands the mark now after that mistake.
Got nothing to kick to, Pete.
Well, he's got Hume out wide, short. He's ignored him.
White makes a lead as well. Rice, strong mark. Good grab.
He's been very good today, Dean Rice. Beat so far 6 and 4.
And 2 marks.
That's a great mark. Real strength here just to make sure he controlled the footy. Luff coming from behind. Concerted effort to take or make the effective spoil. Hit him across the scone.
Roscoe, we talk about the mistakes being made by Orchard, but what about Jason Mooney's mark that he should have taken at centre half forward here? That's indicative of his form at the moment.
His head dropped to the last minute when he went for that mark.
Rice for his second, and I think he's missed.
Completely.
Oh, he's missed a lot. So out of bounds, Swans off the hook there. 2 direct shots at goal in the last minute and a half, and the sum total 1 behind.
Carlton by 3 points. Dunkley to bring the ball back into play. Goes short, finds Seymour. So Carlton manning up very, very quickly. Forcing the error. Whitnell outside of 50. Gives it back to Manton. Back to Whitnell under pressure right on 50. Unloads way, way off target. Another wasted opportunity. It's out in the full.
Sorry, kid. They're very lucky there, Sydney. I'm not sure who Seymour was trying to kick to there, and he kicked out from that full-back area. Paul Roos is completely the other side. He kicked straight to his opponent in Whitnell.
6 marks to Nix. Playing well towards Stafford. The ground level pounced on by Fraser. Brown wants to set it up. Rockets the ball wide. Looking for Pearce. Got the kind bounce he wanted. Hamill runs into the open goal, and again Carlton is off target and through for a minor score. So they're wasting opportunities. They're on top of Sydney. They just can't nail a goal. Sexton on the boundary line.
Looking for Saddington. Finds him just inside the boundary line. Roos seems to have recovered. Crouch. Kicks to a contest on centre wing. Luff behind. This time takes the mark over the top of White. But Kelly, who can't get into the match. Nelson gives the hand pass away to Beaumont, to Ratton. Manton. Carlton running out of defence. Silvani metres clear of Lockett. Hamill short of right half forward. Should have taken the mark. Pressured by Orchard. Carlton with the numbers. Camporelli taken down by Dunkley, holding the footy, says the crowd. Not so, says the umpire.
Just to give you an indication too, Peter, the dominance of Carlton so far in the game. They've gone inside 50 on 10 more occasions than Sydney. It should be further ahead.
Sexton back on for Murphy too, Roscoe.
4-5 to 4-1. Well, 4 direct shots have resulted in 2 behinds for Carlton in the last few minutes. It's out of bounds.
Yes, and Sexton's gone to basically at the moment centre half forward.
And for Kelly, just 2 kicks and 1 handball. Almost at the halfway mark of the second quarter. Very low stats for him. Allen from Stafford. Camporelli from Hamill. Bounce beats Pearce. Likewise, Nix. Brown caught. Ball jarred free in the tackle. Kicked away from Mooney. Snap at goal by Pearce, and again off target. Well, Carlton should be 6 goals ahead. 2 goals, 2 kicked by Brad Pearce. 4-6 to 4-1. The margin is just 5 points. And Seymour, who copped a heavy knock about 5 minutes back, seems to be okay. He'll kick in.
Well, David Parkin wouldn't be happy with the inaccuracies, but he would be happy with the way that his side is going about the game. And you would think that sooner or later they'll get their just desserts and they'll get a goal on the board. Played some good football. Lewis inside the defensive 50, goes short. Stevens. No one guarding the mark. Again, another poor kick. Some shocking kicking today. Mooney can't handle the ball. Sexton just onto the ground. Clean hands. Gives it to Camporelli. Back to Koutafidis, who's playing at centre half back on Mooney. Goes short. Dunkley chips in. Then heads towards the boundary line. They'll toss it back in. So Koutafidis at centre half back on Jason Mooney. That's an interesting duel because Koutafidis probably not in his best form this year, but centre half back's a good position for him.
It's working pretty well from the moment, and it's released Sexton to go forward. Now he's back on the ground.
Gives an extra bit of height also to the forward line with Sexton down there for Carlton. We'll give Whitnell a bit of support as well.
What about Kelly?
Well, Ratton's been on Kelly since the opening bounce. He's a great player, Brett Ratton.
Would you like to see more on the ball? I mean, he's in the forward pocket at the moment.
Well, he kicked 5 goals last week, didn't he, against the Bombers?
True.
So maybe they see him as a goal-kicking option at the moment. We see Manton there, who's had a big game. He's already taken 8 marks.
But also, KB, I think Paul Kelly should also be mindful of when Silvani runs off from Lockett. We know Tony's not the quickest bloke over 50 or 60 metres. Kelly should then chase Silvani and then allowing Lockett to maybe pick up Ratton. So a bit of teamwork and a bit of communication is required there.
Yes, and Koutafidis has seen Mooney off the ground, and Mark Bayes comes on.
Creswell had it and lost it, picked up by Crouch. It's a hurry kick towards the boundary line. O'Loughlin can't get there in time. And another boundary throw in. So Michael O'Loughlin on screen, All-Australian half-forward flanker last year. He's been struggling for a little bit of form, had a good opening term. He's had 8 kicks, 8 possessions I should say, and 5 marks. Rocket would be a little bit concerned at the moment. The Swans are not playing well. Brown finds Rice, who's had a good game, goes short. Great vision and finds Sexton. He's on the half-forward line, kicks back towards centre-half forward. It's a poor kick. Sets it up to Seymour.
The idea was right, Kev. He's looking for Whitnell, but just not enough carry on the foot. He needed to go 50 metres, only went 45.
So a bit of transfer of play here by the Swans to O'Loughlin. Kicks the ball down, looking for a ruse. Again, Rice did well, got back, got his fist to the ball. Flannery pounced on it, gives it back to Creswell from half-back. Chips the ball, looking for Saddington. Now he can shoot it up to Ruse. Ruse decides not to call for it. It's a poor kick. Good play by Beaumont, got a fist to the ball. Picked up by Allen across half-back for Carlton. Thumps the ball down. This is a great kick and finds Whitnell. Outside of 50. He wants to play on quickly. He goes wide. Knock, knock. Who's there? Hamill.
That's where you catch Sydney out sometimes, Kev. If you can turn the ball over across their half-forward line, all their players have run forward from the back half, get the ball back quickly, and if some of the Carlton forwards haven't chased, they're left behind. If you get the ball back quickly to them, this is what's happened.
Roscoe, it's so true that it just shows that the team that wins today will be the team that makes the less mistakes, I believe. There's so many in the last 10 minutes. We haven't had much of a score, but it's minimise the mistakes and score on the board.
He's kicked 11 goals for the season. He's been one of Carlton's consistent players. Directly in front, kicking from 45 metres. Hamill. It's a floater, but he's drilled it.
And terrific running there by Hamill too, Kev, as you mentioned, and good spotting by Whitnell to get that ball across to him. The kick had to be pretty well spot on, and Hamill in his desperation made up the shortfall of the kick. We see this, coming in board was setting, looking for Maxfield. Intercept was there, and this is what happens too. The ball comes back, all the Sydney players are forward. Whitnell just sat behind and saw the opportunity to go inside to square the ball, and Hamill finished off for him.
13 shots to 5. Carlton well in command, although the Swans still in this match by virtue of the Blues' inaccurate kicking. That's going to be another ball up. Schwass on Brown. Mooney being attended to by medical staff. Replaced by Bayes. Brown from midfield, easy as you like. Punch away by Dunkley. Orchard may get the chance. Hume, good bump. Brown from Hamill. Oh, beautiful play. Pearce cutting them to ribbons. 2 magnificent goals in the first quarter. One off the ground, our World Cup. Ronaldo would have been happy with that. .53 metres out. Brad Pearce for his third. Kick 2 in the first quarter. Rush behind. Off the hands of Stafford. Certainly the more potent forward line at the moment is Carlton, 7-5 to 4-1, so 12 shots to 5. Lockett with just the 1 goal and 1 kick.
Just looking at Greg Stafford too, he's not moving that well. He's a little bit on that right leg. He just seems to having a bit of a problem with all that strapping is.
Saddington, short to Crouch. White encroaches, being brought back on the mark. Sydney fans looking for 50 metres. Brian Sheehan tells him where the mark should be and doesn't give the 50. Still inside his own defensive 50. 10th kick for Crouch. Effective to Dunkley. There's nothing happening for Sydney. Rather statuesque across midfield, so Dunkley goes long. Looks for Lewis. Oh, totally outmarked and outplayed by Whitnell. Carlton looking winners at the moment. Brown on his own, or he was. They come from all directions. Nix reads it best. Crouch again. One of Sydney's best at the moment to Saddington. The youngsters are doing best. Saddington, lovely balk around Whitnell. Almost a spiral punt. Can he find the skipper? He can. Kelly finally clear of Ratton. That's been a rarity today. Paul Kelly. Outside 50 in front of the George Harris Social Club stand. He'll be getting plenty of advice from there. Swans trailing by 2 goals. Not a bad sort of a kick. Oh, terrific kick.
It's a great kick.
He's kicked a goal. Captain's goal from Paul Kelly.
It really is an outstanding kick, Pete. Just to make all the difference there, just to set his side up. They've been struggling. It's only about the 3rd time they've gone inside 50 in this quarter. To get the distance in the first place was a good effort. The accuracy to go with it, fantastic. Well done.
That was a goal, wasn't it? Whitnell coming off. Looks like the blood rule for Graham Whitnell.
While he's coming off too, Peter, just watch Fraser Brown in the middle. He's holding his left leg, but maybe a little bit of a twinge in the hamstring, so just be mindful of that one.
There's Fraser Brown on screen. Porter on for Carlton. Pretty certain they'll get Whitnell back onto the ground very quickly. He's had a terrific first half. 11 possessions and 6 marks. You can see that little scratch there just under the ear. 37 plays, 31. The Blues by 6 points. That's so much of the play. For the Swans, that was a great goal. That was kicked by the skipper in Kelly. Chance for poor Roos backing back, and that's vintage Roos. One of the best marks we've seen in AFL football. Gives it across to Crouch. Goes short. Finds Cook just off the interchange bench. An exciting player. Kelly was on the lead. He wants it at centre half forward. It's a shocking kick. It's going to set it up for Carlton, and chipping in was Ratton.
KB saw Kelly go inside for him. He tried to direct the ball that way, but it just came right off the outside of his boot and missed him by about 20 metres.
Well, the experienced players playing well for Carlton today. Manton, one of them, along with Ratton, and Bradley's also had a good game. Now this is out on the full. Saddington, the Norwich Rising Star nomination from last week. Impressive young player, finds Nix. They both had good games, similar types. 5.5 minutes left in this second quarter. Tony Lockett has booted 1 goal against Stephen Silvani. Stevens on centre wing. A very, very crowded forward line. Carlton has done well. They've been very mindful of getting back and picking up all loose players. And there's Manton once more, floating across.
Great mark. 9
marks to Glenn Manton. Gives it across to Bradley. Wants to set it up as the playmaker. Goes short. Manton, 10 marks. This time to Locke. Another one of the Carlton youngsters, along with Franchina and Home. The future of Carlton. Here's Hume. Speak of the devil at ground level. Does well. Kept the ball alive. And I'll toss it back in.
Great second and third effort. Kept go for the mark initially and had the ball spoiled away. Kept his foot, got up quickly, challenged again. Watch this. This is his second effort. Gets tackled, gets up quickly. Seizes the opportunity again. Well played.
Just lost his footing again right at the end, didn't he?
Yep.
Ratton pinned. And cop one a little bit high.
He wears contact lenses too, Brett Ratton.
Sheehan having a good look to see if there's any blood there. Doesn't appear to be, so a bounce right in front of us. Roos and Whitnell, one by the latter. Franchina had it, lost it. We'll see it happen all again. Under 5 minutes remaining to half-time. See what did happen to Brett Ratton there in that contest. Oh, he got one in the eye.
Yeah, finger.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Umpire Sheehan puts it down again. Whitnell again beats Roos. Oh, flips it on beautifully. Camberelli, Brown, lovely tackle. Cook was jarred free. Ratton again, but from Stevens. Camberelli on his own, long bomb, no one home for Carlton. Andrew Dunkley on his own. The Seinfeld look-alike. Nix at left half back. Finally, Sydney can run it out of defence. Luff lumbers after it in front of Camberelli. Tries a balk. Nearly comes unstuck. Troy Luff, a goal kicker for Sydney today. Luff to half forward. Bays, first touch for the match. He came on to replace Mooney a few minutes back. The veteran. One of the longest kicks in the side. Plugger at the back. Applies a tackle. Looks for holding the footy. Not according to the umpire. It'll be a ball up 15 metres out from Sydney's goal. Glenn Manton picks himself up.
Peter, KB, just while Peter was calling that, Fraser Brand and Troy Crook were having a nice old wrestle on half back line. It was looking pretty interesting as well. But
1-all fly it is, I think.
Nelson to Koutafidis. Off a step, Nix takes the mark. Did he take the mark?
No, the umpire said no, he didn't, Pete. Nix saying, I think I did.
I thought he did. The replay may prove otherwise if we can see it, but the umpire...
I don't think they're the words he used.
No, not quite. That's why we don't mic the players. Let's see it again. Seemed to be a clean grab initially. Must have fallen out.
Only onto his knees though, but didn't hit the ground, I don't think.
Still thought it was a mark. Anyway, Silvani continuing to run off Lockett.
He's played the mark.
In fact, there is a mark, so you can't play on. Hamill will take it. Goes wide to Beaumont. And Beaumont looking for options further afield.
From half-back line, Beaumont looking for Whitnell, back on the field. He's a magnificent young player. Franchina was caught. Whitnell lends support, then just thumps the ball back towards 50. Sexton versus Seymour, coming out hard as Dunkley missed the run of the ball. Going to ground was Pearce. Thought he might have copped one high, but Dunkley with strength kicks the ball back towards the half-back line. Saddington against Locke, going to ground. Stevens. Camporiali gets the ball back out under pressure. Carlton finding something, slapped on by Bradley on the half-forward line. Franchina kicks again back towards centre-half forward. Again, Dunkley reading it well, comes out. Quick hands across to Seymour, some rebound play. Danger here. Luff inside the centre square, needs clean hands, gets it. Support back to Crouch, back to Creswell. The Swans come forward. Lockett pushing and shoving out in front. Could have been a free kick, not paid. Hands and knees, didn't quite hit his target, and Silvani, magnificent play, caught. Great tackle by Bays. He's gone. There's been some good second efforts today.
Yes, I was going to say exactly the same thing, Kev. Just important that forwards fight very hard for it. Lockett couldn't quite get there, but Bays did. Silvani, they're just trying to break free. Bays just pinned him. He's only been on the ground for about 15 minutes, Mark Bays.
Plays Jason Mooney.
Just his second kick coming up.
So Bays, a veteran now of over 200 games, 35 metres out. You can tell by the roar, he has missed.
So one behind to Mark Bays. The difference less than a kick now.
You see there Hume coming off for a rest, replaced by Murphy.
Might be able to get a kick too straight away, just off the bench. Goes to Sexton, just wide of him instead, who's also had a stint on the bench. Sexton to half forward, intended for Whitnell. Bounce for Hamill, that's okay. Allen, the big bloke, and lumber in and kick a goal. He shoot from there, and he does.
Shades of Justin Madden there, Pete. I think the way he lumbered into goal. Yeah, there's a bit of quality about Matthew Allen, I should say. It's been a good duel between he and Stafford. Probably even, I'd suggest at this stage. Allen with 4 and 3, Stafford at 2 and 2. But Allen with that goal now. Good play by Whitnell too, just to get Roos underneath the footy there. And Hamill, who's been all over the ground, just sets it up. Good bounce. Settled nicely. Good finish for a big fella. Good controlled kick.
Goes to half-time. Matty Allen kicks his first goal, a handy one for the Blues, increasing their lead to 11 points. Allen again, good tackle by Cook on Ratton, ball jarred free, kicked up towards Sydney centre-half forward position. Kelly, goal kicker in the second quarter on the Knicks. A little fling out the Maxfield. Clock ticking down, they need a mark. Lockett will have to come from behind, he can't. And again, Silvani gets the best of the umpire's decisions. No doubt about that though. There's the siren for half-time. Good quarter by Carlton. Some thinking needed from Sydney if they're to get up and pinch this game from the Blues. 13 effective scoring shots to 7, and the margin is 11 points, but it could quite easily have been 6 or 7 goals because Sydney in that quarter were under siege. Carlton forwards, missing about 5 shots from 35 metres out that could have quite easily been goals. Paul Kelly did kick a great goal in that quarter, right on the boundary line in front of the Social Club, but possessions for him few and far between, tagged very effectively by Brett Ratton, one of the best in the competition.
They've had the ball about 40 more times, Pete, overall in the game, Carlton, so they deserve to be in front. And again, they've now again maintained that 10 extra moves inside 50. The half-time mark, we see Carlton 6-7-43, Sydney 5-2-32.
In the second quarter, from the half-forward flank virtually, Whitnell, after Bayes fumbled, Rice, who's been good, Bradley, a little give, Kelly. In fact, it ricocheted off for Landia. Ball comes back to Saddington on centre wing. Schwass, the hand pass to Lewis, a little bit slow. Proudmont holding the ball. Saddington kicks it over the line, not on the full. It'll be thrown in front of our commentary position.
Peter, Paul Roos on the boundary line, just getting his knee worked on. Might be a little bit of fluid and also his right thigh. So just getting manipulated there.
Yeah, we saw him limping in the first half, didn't we?
Old age, Peter, catches up with us.
Speak for yourself,
Roscoe, you
Ryan.
know all about that as well.
Ho-ho.
Brown kicks up towards half forward. Pearce again, kicked 2 goals. One of them a real gem. Centering kick looking for Hamill on the lead. Great block down there by Nix. Crouch, 11 kicks in the first half. Troy Cook came off the bench where he found a little bit of trouble against Fraser Brown. Whitnell from centre wing for Landia. Blocks the hand pass intended for Rice. Picked up by Bayes, the veteran. Can the Swans set something up here?
And just thumps the ball back towards centre half forward, and backing back is Beaumont. So Carlton on the rebound. Kick wide. Trying to take it was Locke. Tied up by Crouch, who was held. Now that could be 50 as well. So Crouch giving away the free kick, and Stafford being given the benefit of the doubt. So the Blues, 11 points up. Ratton has had the job on Kelly all day, goes short and finds Sexton. He's on the bench early in the game, but has since come back on and has played on the forward line.
Gee, it's a poor kick, Cubby. He had Silvani's run all the way down. He had him in the pocket and over his head, and also missed Pearce.
Stevens, from that resultant free, goes to Seymour. Sets it up to Maxfield. Had a few good players today, the Sydney Swans, mainly their youngsters. Have carried him in the first half. Schwass, been fairly quiet by his standards, comes away from half back. Thumps the ball back, is a great kick and finds Cook. Smack bang in the centre of Optus Oval, gives it across to Creswell, kicks to the half forward line. Flandia out in front. Better play by the Swans. Now Lockett's in the square, he kicks long, he's got the sit, pushing and shoving, goes to ground. He had the sit on Manton. Koutafidis just throws the ball back out into Manton under pressure. The Blues back line is standing up to Nelson, comes away, kicks the ball back. They've got the loose player, Franchina, one of their young players, making his mark in the game. Kicks down towards the half forward line. Hamill comes out. Nearly took a good grab, couldn't take it on the second grab. Lewis, struggling a bit today for his best form. Saddington running with the fire of the ball. He's had a terrific first half for the Swans. Cook, a dangerous player at his best, around the corner. Luff playing in front, too much carry on the ball. Koutafidis leaves it for Beaumont, comes charging out, gets good support back from Locke, misses his mark, under pressure now the youngster. Good enough to get his kick away, looks for Fraser Brown. He's got Schwass to beat again, rebounds to Cook from centre wing, kicks a long bomb back. Carlton, Manton, he's been magnificent today. He's taken 12 marks. He's been unbeatable across half back. And goes short to Nelson.
Nelson at right half back. As we look at that screamer, that'll be mark of the day, you'd reckon.
Great mark.
Won't see too many better than that today or any other round this year. Terrific grab.
Beautifully controlled.
Hamill. Well, they want the football more at the moment, Carlton. Sexton, we saw him benched in the first half. I must admit I haven't seen him benched, I don't think, ever in his career. He's responded though. Camporelli gives the hand pass back to Ratton. Sexton misses it. They try to set it up. Bradley, the skipper, from 45 metres, has kicked it behind. Deserved better. Good build-up by Carlton, resulting in only 1 point.
Peter, they've certainly got the numbers around the ball, and a lot better than other weeks when lots of the times they've been beaten because they've been outnumbered by their opposition around that ball.
Ruse still on the bench. Margin is 10 points. 11 points at half-time. Seymour Got a nice knock in the ribs during the first half. Goes for the boundary line on this occasion, finds it.
Free kick's coming back to him though. He was tackled without the footy after he disposed of the ball, Pete, so it's coming right back to him. The advantage not with the side, with the ball going out of bounds, even though that was his intentions. He kicked the ball about 30 metres down along the line.
Steve McBurney, the officiating umpire, indicating what the free kick was for. Seymour, duo defender for Sydney. He's had plenty of work today. Ball's been down there quite a lot. Stafford, Creswell, roves it well. Cook, well, he's added a bit of bite to their around the packs situation. Saddington from Creswell. Maxfield, if he can get a handle on the footy, tries to barge through a pack. Koutafidis is there. He's dragged out on the tackle. Terrific tackle from Luff. Free ball at half forward. Lewis through a wall of players. Out the Cook, gets a bad bounce. 25-metre hand pass. Luff, 45 out, goes a goal and kicks it. Sydney back in it. But did they work hard for that?
Oh, they certainly did. There was two outstanding efforts there. Darren Creswell on the outer side to rove the ball off the marking contest between Stafford and the Carlton player. Brought that ball forward, kicked it short to Cook, and then back inside here. Good tackle by Luff on Koutafidis, but then Dale Lewis in the congestion here just intercepted the handball there, kept his footing, looked for the opportunity, then just handballed over the top, and Cook just gave Luff the opportunity. There's three players there. They needed that, and that's the finish they wanted.
Sydney drags it back to 6 points. Troy Luff has booted 2 goals. Hume on the boundary line for Carlton. Again, Allen versus Stafford. They'll both come charging in. Allen gets his hands on the ball. Cook has added some bite to Sydney in this third term. Wild hand pass. Stevens bowled over. Goes the ground. Back to Cook. All tied up by Ratton. They'll ball it up.
John Stevens not happy with the contact made on him. Sometimes players hip and shoulder, they should tackle when the opposition players got the footy.
Allen, again with first use of the ball. Creswell has been very good. Cook is in everything at the moment. A casual bounce, edge of the centre square, just tumbles the kick forward. And there's Manton. Best man on the ground, 13 marks, 15 possessions. Silvani has had the better of Lockett. Goes short to Franchina. Rockets the ball wide to Nelson, so Carlton out of defence, try to set it up, looking for Murphy. He's got Seymour to beat. The race is on. Murphy paddles the ball long in front. Knocked over that time by Seymour, who goes to ground, takes it over the line. They'll toss it back in.
Terrific defensive play there by Seymour. Just kept Murphy in check. Wasn't going to interfere with him. Kept the ball and his opponent in front of him. And just finally knocked the ball out of bounds. Well played.
Round off for Carlton. Hume on. Ratton to do the ruck work against Crouch. And he was held. No free kick.
Should have been.
Creswell from centre wing. Playing a terrific game for the Swans. Good punch away by Nelson at ground level, taken by Sexton, gives it back to Rice. Kicked the goal in the first quarter to centre half forward. Hamill caught from behind, got strength, does well, pounces on the ball. Tackled by Stafford, loose play. Bradley goes short, Hume just onto the ground. Taps it on, that was brilliant play. Looking for Allen, couldn't quite pick the ball up. A good play that time, coming away by the Swans is Dunkley, crashing through his Hamill. Long handball. Whittle in the square. Allen can't get his foot to the ball. Pearce can, kicks a goal. He's booted 3.
Didn't they make hard work of that, KB? But they deserved to get the goal in the end because they had the numbers around the footy. They kept at it and at it. Defensive efforts of the Sydney Swans players was very good, but when you've got numbers against you, it's always difficult to cover the men. Inside here, Dunkley just couldn't quite get a handball away, and Hamill on 2 occasions featured here. Good searching handball, good tackle by Bayes, but the numbers in the end, Matty Allen couldn't keep his footing. Finally slipped over, and Pearce, in the assist, deserved the goal.
10 kicks to Pearce. He scored with 50% of them, kicking 3 goals, 2. 12 points is the biggest margin Carlton have enjoyed so far in this match. Lock taken down by Cook. Lewis. Need more from him. Maxfield. Left footer usually accurate. Haven't seen much of O'Loughlin since the first quarter. Lockett only his second kick. Plugger bends it around and he's kicked to behind. 1 goal, 1.
Terrific effort there by Lockett. Just didn't look, knew where the goals were. Rocket Eat saying, why couldn't we got that one? One we needed.
11 points.
Fraser Brown just had a bit of trouble with that hamstring, just getting it stretched at the moment. In the second quarter, he was favouring a little, just stretching it a fair bit. I hope he hasn't done it again.
He's had problems with that, hasn't he?
Yep.
Bradley.
It all stems from the lower back, Pete. So they're just trying to loosen it up, all the back spasm around his lower back there.
Last player still playing that was on the Tour of Ireland in 1984. Although I think Gary McIntosh is still going around in Adelaide. Kelly, Luff, bombs it long, might be too long. Just touch before it goes over the line by 3 players, O'Loughlin, Silvani, getting their hands to it, and so a throw in right next to the behind post, right forward pocket for Sydney. 50 plays 39, 11 points the margin. Carlton only with 2 wins against their name this year. Sydney 7-4. Lewis, no, Manton. Lockett, snaps. 1 behind. 2 behind this quarter to Tony Lockett. For 1 goal 2 for the day. Silvani's had the better of that duel. Difference back to 10 points.
Dean Rice to bring the ball back for Carlton. Goes wide, looking for Locke.
Good kick.
Good kick, isn't it? Under pressure, trying to get away from Creswell. It's been a mighty player for Sydney today. Numbers could win out. You can see players going to ground. They've paid advantage. It's very slippery on the wings. Nelson gives the ball across to Ratton. Good hands. Back to Hume. Sets it up to the skipper in Bradley. 65 metres out. Centres the ball to Hamill. It's a beautiful kick.
That's intelligent, KBs. He looked up forward. There was no one coming toward him. He could make the distance to the square. He's just brought it inside.
Sexton's loose. He's inside 50. He'll be kicking from 45 metres. He's had 5 marks and 10 possessions. Sexton just kicked the 1 goal for the season. He's off target and through for a minor score. So back to 11 points for Carlton. 51 plays 40. And that was the margin at half-time. Bays started the game on the interchange bench. Goes wide and finds Saddington, who's been very good along with Crouch and Nix, young players. The kick's a poor one. Taken by Locke. Big chance for the Blues. Pumps the ball back. Back of the pack was Camporelli. He's got 3 to beat. Orchard had a terrific first quarter. Kept alive by Allen again. We see him slipping over. It's a high ball. It's one for the Brave. Koutafides!
It's got to be a Sydney mark.
Hey, Dunkley.
Yes, he was in front. First chance at it, KB.
Koutafides might have thought he had a bit of purchase on the ball as well. Maxfield from the half-back flank. Good kick under pressure. Finds Stafford. So the Sydney big man looks for Troy Luff at centre half forward. He's booted a couple of goals. Ratton. He's got O'Loughlin to beat. Luff, handy across half forward. Hume, impressive young player. Back to Ratton, who sets it up wide and finds Allen.
Allen at centre wing. Beaumont up from defence. Looks for Koutafides, finds him, strong mark.
He's got Rice at centre half forward. Pete, that's
On
where
his
he's
own.
going. Yep.
Got him. Could have played on Rice too. Thought about it, almost a rush of blood.
Probably sensibly, Pete went back. He wasn't sure who was behind him, whether he was clear. He wasn't sure he might have got run down from that area, so he just took his time.
Kicked Carlton's first goal of the match. They lead by 11 points. If he kicks this, the biggest lead they've had all day. 1 rush behind, taken through by Seymour. So the difference back to 2 goals here at Optus Oval. Frowns in the Sydney box. 7-10, 17 scoring shots to 10. Seymour to bring it back. Creswell, left back pocket with Brad Pearce on the mark. Well, that's dangerous. This will be a goal. Hamill, bang, puts it through. Terrible. Terrible option.
It's an unusual one for a player of his quality, Pete. No question about that. He obviously thought it's the only thing he could do other than to bring the ball down the boundary line, which in the end would have been the better option. It's always easy from here.
Ross, it does have to be pinpoint, doesn't it?
Exactly, and it's got to be, the player's got to be so clear. I'm not sure.
It's to a contest.
In the end, it was to a 50-50 in the end, KB, and you just don't do that, particularly in that area. Costly one.
Well, what do you say after a mistake like that, KB?
That's a monumental mistake by Darren Creswell. He's had 19 possessions and 5 marks. He's been just about the Swans' best player. But he'll shake his head in disbelief when he sees that.
Well, he's been a fair part of the reason, KB, while they've kept in touch in this game. And to get one away such like, you know, like that is very unlike him.
Got some young players starting to find some form, Carlton. There's Hume, gets the ball across to Franchina. There's the name 2. Young Locks come off the bench. He's picked up possessions as well. Franchina from the centre square just tumbles the ball forward, looking for Murphy. There's a good mark to Stevens. So he'll break wide, looking for Troy Luff. He's booted a couple of goals across the half-forward line. He's now marked on the half-back line, out in front of O'Loughlin. Good early, been a bit quiet since the opening quarter. 9 possessions to O'Loughlin. It's his 7th mark. Between the wing and half-back flank, looking for Lewis. Silvani got a hand on the ball. Creswell roved it brilliantly. Back to Maxfield. Creswell doing all the damage midfield for Sydney. Looking for Kelly. Great mark on the second grab.
Just to control it was outstanding. If he gets it forward quickly, he's got Lockett 1 out. No, too late.
Well, he kicked a wonderful goal on the second turn from the boundary line. This is a similar kick, although he's gone short. It's a poor option. A wild kick off the ground by Bradley. They pile on top, and they'll ball it up 45 metres out from Sydney's goal. 58 plays 40. Blues by 18 points. They led by 3 points at quarter time and 11 points at half time. There's Rocket Eade.
Alex Ashenko on the back right-hand side. Craig Holt on the left-hand side behind him.
The Swans staring at their 3rd successive defeat. Carlton's only won the 2 games for the year. They battled hard last week against the Cats. And today, some of their more experienced players are helping out some of their youngsters. Ratton's been good. Camporelli, Pearce, Bradley, Koutafidis and Manton have all had good games. 1 out, strength, Lockett. This time thumped over the line by Camporelli. How have you seen that duel, Roscoe? Tony Lockett and Stephen Silvani.
Well, Steve Silvani will always want front pos in. If he gets that and maintains it, he's very hard to beat because he's got the same amount of height and his leg strength is very good. Holds his ground so very well. So Lockett's got to be on his mettle to beat him from behind.
Mind you, the ball hasn't been delivered down there in A1 condition today, has it?
No.
Camporelli gets on his bike and away he goes. Nearly gets run down by Crouch, but the kick is a good one. DiUlio on the ground, his first touch. Clear of Saddington. Kicks to a contest. Dunkley goes down in it. Snapped by Whitball. He's got it. I think they've all been watching the World Cup at Carlton. Pearce kicked a beauty earlier. That one was just as good. 9-10 to 6-4.
Well, Lance Whitnall's been close to best on the ground for me so far in this game. To hold down centre-half forward against a quality opponent like Paul Roos in the first half. And then to follow up and kick a goal like this, DiUlio set that up pretty well. Just bodying each other there were Pearce and Dunkley. The ball carried them. Terrific snap by Whitnall. Well done.
There is on screen number 8. 17 possessions, 7 marks. And that important goal, the Blues have kicked the last 3 goals. Sydney kicked the first of this 3rd term. Troy Luff in the ruck. Ratton has been good all day. Quick hands. Back to Bradley, picking up possessions. Thumps it back towards centre-half forward. Whitnall in front. The big fist away is from Bayes at ground level. Big chance for Carlton. Pounced on by Camporelli. Back to Locke. They've got the numbers. Hume run down from behind by Cook.
Holding the ball. Had the opportunity to get rid of it, KB. Pinged now by Cook. And by Brian Sheen saying holding the ball.
Blues by 24 points. Stevens, that raking left boot, kicks down towards O'Loughlin. There's a strong punch from Beaumont. Allen, the crummer, to Rice off the half-back line. Short, pinpoint accuracy, finds Pearce. Now he's on the right side for a left foot up. This to put Carlton 5 goals up.
Well, this is his range, kept on his favoured side. Dean Rice has also been very good, particularly through the back half, just setting things up on the rebound.
He's kicked 3 goals, 3. 4 marks. This to put Carlton 5 up from 45 metres. It's holding its line. He's got it.
Well, the Blues have blown the game right apart and just about blown Sydney out of the water, you'd reckon.
And Pete, they're starting now to get more value for effort when they go into that 50 area. They did it a fair bit in the first half, just couldn't convert well enough. As you see there, 20 scoring shots to 10. They've doubled Sydney's score on the board in terms of shots at goal. And when you've got a forward like Pearce leading out, and given the opportunities like this, he should convert for you, and he's done that pretty well.
Shaping up as a repeat of round 21 last year when Sydney kicked only 5 goals here and were beaten by 35 points. It may be even greater than that today. The trend is that Carlton will keep going. Soccer work by O'Loughlin. Beaumont was there, missed it. Maxfield ridden into the ground, ball jarred free. Chance for Sydney now. Kelly missed it. One behind. 29 points the margin. 1 goal, 1. Rodney Eade looks, well, pensive but worried. Sexton brings the ball in. Luft tries to punch from behind. Spoil ineffective. Likewise, Stevens tackle. Ball comes out the back. Nearly. 70 plays 41 with under 5 minutes remaining in the third term. David Parkin giving the chewing gum a decent old workout. AFL website, keep you up to date on what's happening. Updated very frequently. Lock to Hamill to Bradley.
He's been good, Pete.
He's been excellent. Oh, beautifully chopped off by Bayes, intended for Whitnell. And the veteran who started on the bench takes a safe mark. Bayes transfers it out towards Saddington. Need to be good here in the contest. He was. Saddington marks over Koutafidis, youngster from the Eastern Rangers who's had a terrific season so far. Lewis, good grab. Umpire pays the mark. Dale Lewis trying to bring Sydney within range at least by three-quarter time. They need a couple of goals before the bell. Lockett fumbles. No one to give a hand pass to, surrounded by Carlton players. Finally Creswell. O'Loughlin off a standing start, no one there. Sexton, the bounce may beat him, it does, and it trundles through for a behind. Look of desperation on Plugger's face there. He looked one way or the other. It was Carlton every direction, wasn't it?
Yes, he couldn't believe it. And then in the end, Pete, he couldn't believe he couldn't get the handball off effectively. So it's not quite his day at the moment.
Just under 4 minutes left.
There's the instruction from the bench, just using the numbers to tell the runner to get 22 off.
So Dean Rice is ready to bring the ball back into play. It looks like Bradley might have the blood rule.
Yep.
Carlton skipper.
Hard to tell where, KB.
Fraser Brown is on the boundary line. He'll be coming back on. So Carlton by 28 points. Troy Luff has booted 2 goals for Sydney. For Carlton, Brad Pearce has got 2 goals in the first quarter and 2 in this third term. And Hamill also with 2 goals. Carlton's multiple goal kickers. So Bradley just sort of shakes the head. He says, try and find the blood.
Looks like a bit of red paint. He must have been painting the house this morning or something. That's how blasé he is about it.
Probably off the Coca-Cola sign, Russ.
Rice brings the ball back into play. Kelly gets a shove out from Ronnie DiUlio. So Paul Kelly can take his pick. They can raffle this. Bingo, the lucky number's 3. Dale Lewis. So he's on the front edge of the centre square. Kicks the ball into the pocket. And again, finds Kelly. Well, he's got 1 goal next to his name. It was an absolute ripper.
Needs a conversion here, Kev, doesn't he?
In the second quarter, from the boundary line, down to the Robert Heatley stand. So he's got more angle space for this kick. Kelly. It's going to swing back. It's coming back. It's coming back. He's got it.
It has been a great improvement in his game, Paul Kelly. Just his finishing off, and that's a great illustration of that. To kick a goal from there, never looked like missing, very deliberate. They chipped that ball around trying to get the right opportunity because Lockett was congested, or the area in front of Lockett was very congested. You can just see there quickly. So they had to go wide, no one picking up Kelly. And the team needed this conversion. It was a terrific kick. Well done.
Bradley back onto the ground, no one minding him at half forward. If they can get it down quickly, Carlton, be a chance. Cook, who's been good since he came on, doesn't get the bounce that he wanted there. Creswell leads in the race, hacks it out of mid-air towards left half forward, and O'Loughlin, good hand pass. Luff has kicked a goal like this before today, goes long again and kicks another one for the Swannies, his third.
I tell you what, Pete, that's a very clever kick by Creswell too, to get the ball in the air accurately. Like, it's almost as if he intended to get it on, like a check side. It didn't go out of bounds as easily. They can go astray, those sorts of kicks. But very deliberate. Good effort by Cook, as Pete mentioned, also to keep the ball alive there, push it forward. There's the kick by Creswell. O'Loughlin in front, always the advantage there. And Luff, as Pete said, his second one from pretty much that same spot.
Well, they're staying in touch, Kev, aren't they? Just.
Sydney won't go away. There's Troy Luff. He'll be happy with his efforts. He's booted 3 goals. Creswell continues to dominate midfield. Kelly now inside the centre square, being picked up by Ratton. He's been his minder from the opening bounce. 70 plays, 54. So 2 quick goals to Sydney. Bradley from the centre square, under pressure. Fraser Brown there as well. Orchard missed it. Camporelli didn't quite hit his target. Allen concedes ground up. Fraser Brown gets it back to Dean Rice. Stands and delivers towards centre half forward. He was looking for Whitnall. Koutafidis couldn't take it on the second grab. Juggles the ball, comes back out towards Sexton, does well. Going in hard was Orchard. A loose ball. Big chance here for Carlton. Hume goes down towards Whitnall, tries to take a one-hander. Hume a bit disappointed with his efforts there, and a free kick is going to Whitnall for a push.
By Derek Humphrey-Smith saying there was a shove after.
So Whitnall on a very, very tight angle. Goes short and finds Sexton.
Ball manning up by Sydney. That should never happen. If that's going to, if you get a free kick on a boundary like that with the opposition player, you must just go inside. They're invariably going to go look for that short kick inboard.
That's a good point, Ross, especially when he was looking to kick it off as well. He didn't want to have a shot for goal. Sexton lines up from 35 out.
This to put Carlton 22 points in front. He's pushed it right. He's just kicked the 1 goal for the season. Michael Sexton was benched earlier in the game. And we see Matthew Allen, Carlton's big ruckman, having a spell with just 1.5 minutes of action left in this third quarter.
Porter on to replace him. 71 plays 54. Swans wouldn't want to concede another goal before 3/4 time. Saddington, if they can get one before the bell, be in a real, well, much better position. Seymour to Luff. Schwass calling for it. Gets it at half back. Kicks to a contest. Crouch. He certainly picked up plenty of possessions. Marking in front of Nelson. Up to midfield. Philandia got one high. Takes the mark. Back to Nix. Clock ticking down. Tries to draw a man in Fraser Brown. O'Loughlin had a good first quarter. Didn't see much of him in the second. Marks in front of Beaumont. Too far out to score. Kicking a bit from goal. Tall timber needed here. Silvani, good punch away. Snap by Nix. He's got it.
Lockett just set off that contest initially, Pete, when the kick came in from O'Loughlin. Silvani went for it, and his momentum took him forward. The ball spilled free. The kick came back. Lockett was still sitting in the square and went to his advantage.
He's only kicked 1 goal, a similar position in the first quarter, but he was a little bit closer in, and the angle wasn't quite as acute.
Craig Bradley telling the umpire to push him further towards the boundary line. Got his wish.
Needs to be a real good kick here. Looks pretty good. He's got it.
It's a good resurgence, Pete, by Sydney in this last 12 or 14 minutes. 3 goals.
11 points the margin.
And they've just lifted their rating. You can see the body language of the Sydney players have lifted, as did Carlton in that first part of this third quarter. They were all cock-a-hoop, had the confidence running with them. The flow of the game's just changed now, come back in Sydney's favour, particularly through the work ethic in the middle of the ground and across half back. the forwards getting the opportunities to convert.
There's Rodney Eade. He'd be happy with those late 3 goals in this third term. There's only 12 seconds left before three-quarter time, and Sydney have dragged it back to 11 points deficit. Same margins it was at half-time. So we're in for a thrilling last quarter here at Optus Oval. Here's Kelly trying to crash his way through. Gets the ball off, taken away by Hamill. D'Ulio on the edge of the centre square as the siren sounds as Pearce marks. Now, will it be paid a mark?
Should be. No. I'm sure the noise would have carried early enough, KB, not to allow it. Yep.
Little grin on Pearce's face there. Thought he might have got lucky. But a great last 10 minutes by Sydney.
Important 10 minutes, Kev. Very important for the whole season, as it was for Carlton's season. Suggestion was from some people, some good judges, that Carlton will win more than they lose in their second half of the season. They're certainly showing that at the moment. They've the development of their younger players in today's game has been very good. Bradley, Kudafidis, Whitnell at centre half forwards been very good, giving them a focal point there. They just need to convert a little better.
11 points the difference as it was at half-time, so Sydney back in the match. We've got 1 quarter to go. Stay with us. Back in just a moment. Sydney trailed by 5 goals at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. They've got it back to 11, but that was only the deficit at half-time. They've got to get some early goals. Brown, clear of Creswell to Camporelli, up in front of goal, out on the lead. Pearce takes the mark. Well, he's the danger man, has been all day. He's kicked 4 goals.
Just makes such a difference too, Pete, when you're a forward. If the play comes out of the centre quickly from a centre bounce, you get an opportunity to lead and receive the ball in that manner.
Will give the Blues a little bit of breathing space if he can kick it. He's right on 50. No wind to speak of. It's going pretty close. I like it. I think it's there. It is. It's a goal. Carlton hit back.
It's 5 to Brad Pearce. Important focal point he has been. Limited opportunities, but as I say, if you get the ball out of the centre quickly through Fraser Brown there, just good play, good quick hands. Watch this. Beautiful ruck play, straight down to the running player through the middle. And Camporelli just finds his target.
That'll make it hard for Sydney.
Brad Pearce on screen, 5 goals. Sydney kicked the last 3 goals in that third term. So a quick answer by Carlton. Started this last quarter. Cook picked up a lot of possessions also in the third quarter. Coming through was Ronnie D'Ulio. Dragged to the ground. Kelly kicked a couple of goals. A lot of players have been slipping over. Wild hand pass, lands in the arms of Stevens. Finds Fleandia. Inside, 50. Can get the ball back to Orchard. He's had a pretty good game. Goes short, looking for Tony Lockett. Here's Fleandia. Into the pocket. The whistle has gone.
Free kick across the shoulder, KB.
So Silvani listens on intently. And Fleandia and also Fraser Brown.
That was referee's hold, and now it's on. That's Fraser's second wrestle for the day.
I would say they'll be pinged for wrestling. Probably worth about $1,500 these days, isn't it, Roscoe?
Could be an expensive afternoon for him.
Maybe he's not taking those angry management pills, Roscoe.
Tony Lockett's got the ball. He's kicked 2 goals, 1 in the first quarter and 1 in the third term.
Only the 10th free kick he's got all year.
They trailed all day, Sydney, by 3 points at quarter time, 11 points at half time, and 11 points at three-quarter time. They're down by 17. This to bring it back to 11. Lockett, 45 metres out. That's a great kick. He splits the centre.
And that's why it's so important. A perfect example there of a full forward being given the opportunity to take his time and convert. We talk about having a time clock on a full forward in his preparation to have a shot at goal. Here we see Kelly just setting that up with a handball. He was tackled, couldn't get his kick away, but got a 20-metre handball forward. And Flanny just helping set that up. No question there. Orchard, the right option there to pass on to the forward. Would have been very difficult to kick a goal from where he was. Over to the big fella.
Tony Lockett's third goal. Again, the difference is 11 points. Sydney can't seem to get much closer than that. Allen again. He's done well at the centre. Nix clear of D'Ulio. Kickers out towards centre wing. Bouncing ball favours Camporelli. Orchard wearing in closely. The boundary line's too close for both of them. Out of bounds on centre wing. In front of the scoreboard here at Carlton. 11-11 to 10-6. Maxfield having a stint on the bench. Roos and Mooney there as well. And according to Russell Morris, neither will probably come back. Luff taps to the left. Stevens, Seymour. Luff again. O'Loughlin nearly might get a second chance. Doesn't. It's tied up 45 metres out from Sydney's goal.
Peter, as well as Mooney and Ruse, I think we've got a limping Greg Stafford up forward as well. So I think Roscoe might have pointed that earlier. But
he was limping a bit early.
Yeah, he doesn't look too good, mate. No.
Yeah, he was limping a bit early. He's carrying it okay, but he's not as mobile as he'd want to be.
Well, he gives away a free kick there. In fact, he has given away a free kick.
Well spotted, Pete. Too high.
Allen's going to take it. Haven't seen much of Porter today. He did come on once, albeit briefly. Camporelli kicks to a contest on centre wing. Nix may have infringed. He's given away a push in the back. So Nix free kick, centre wing. DiIulio. Manton, he had a sensational first half.
14 marks, Pete.
That's an amazing stat, isn't it? Hamill to half forward, only as far as Troy Luff. Still 11 points the difference. The Swans can't wear Carlton down. Troy Luff's been a goal kicker himself today. He's kicked 3. Won't kick one from there. He's at half back. It goes to centre wing. Marking contest. Stevens underneath. A chance for Lewis. Fickle bounce. May go to Crouch. Raked in by Bradley. Gets it back to Hume. Hume's kick up towards centre wing, and the mark is grabbed by Sexton.
Sexton from the edge of the centre square kicks the ball long. Whitnell's going to be his target in front. It's a fine young player taken away by Luff. Kicks the ball wide to Orchard. He's got Camporelli to beat. Kicks to space. Over the line. Carlton fans want a free kick. They'll throw it in.
Sorry, Kev. You'll always get the benefit of the doubt if you go long along the boundary line without going directly to it.
Just under 23,000 fans here today at Optus Oval. Creswell brings the ball down to Orchard. Both being good players for Sydney. The Swans trail by 11 points. Orchard again from half-back. Kicks down towards the half-forward line. Coming out was Fleania. Got a bad bounce. Ronnie DiIulio. It's taken away by O'Loughlin. Chip short. Looking for Kelly. He's got the skipper on 50. Kicks the ball. Looking for Stafford. Coming in is Allen. 14 possessions to the big man today. Marking in front. Kicks the ball back. Whitnell couldn't take a slips catch. Bays. Hands and knees. Gets the ball back. Swass under pressure. Hits his target and Luff across half-back. Been busy in this last quarter. And another great mark to Kelly. Swans looking dangerous. Plugger on the lead. He's booted 2. Kelly in 2 minds. Looks for Plugger. Too much carry on the ball. Silvani. It's been a great duel. Heads for the line. Finally bounces over.
It came back in. The boundary umpire had been further away. Might not have spotted it. It was very close.
11 possessions to Silvani and 1 mark today. And Tony Lockett's had 7 possessions, 2 marks. And has booted 3 goals.
From limited opportunities, as you pointed out. Stevens couldn't control it. Creswell thought about a hand pass. Manton, good mark.
Number 15.
Ratton. Camporelli. Hume didn't get the bounce that he wanted. Need to be quick. Orchard's got him. Great tackle. Not rewarded by the umpire. Camporelli back to DiIulio. Pearce leaves it for Koutoufides, who marks over Saddington.
It's a big match-up for the young fellow Saddington to control Koutoufides in that situation. If he's in front, terribly hard to get to fist on the ball. You've got to try and come across his arms to affect the spoil. As we see Dale Lewis coming off the ground.
Interesting to see who comes back on. Who's it going to be, Fly?
Maxfield.
But back with Koutoufides. 1 behind against his name today. 11 points is still the margin. Won't have any problems with the distance. The accuracy he does, so that makes it an even 2 goals. 78 plays 66, plenty of time. 14.5 minutes left in the match.
And that was a confidence mark to Koutoufides. That was Koutoufides of old, attacking the ball out in front.
Just his 3rd for the day.
Allen, the big fist from behind. Fraser Brown traps it well. Goes short to Nelson, rockets the ball back to Allen inside the centre square. Pearce has got it, needs the bounce, got a bad one. Then got a good one. Pearce. Ronnie DiIulio kicks a goal.
Well, good protective work there by setting up the wall by Carlton across that half-forward line to block the run of Sydney. Then forced the ball back inside 50, and as KB said, not a good bounce initially for Pearce, then got a good one, turned inside. There's the initial bounce. Bowes was miles behind, was never going to get to the initial contest, was favoured by the bounce, then inside, running through directly goal to DiIulio. Good option, good finish.
Only 5 kicks to Ronnie DiIulio, but that one invaluable to make the difference out to 3 goals. It's going to be hard for Sydney from here. Brown again out of the centre. Bays, good spoil. Loose ball to be won at half forward. Can he kick another one? DiIulio. Not quite with that kick. Koutafidis knocks it back to Nix. Trying to steady the Sydney Swans. Cook. He's got Creswell running for him. Sydney really does need a quick reply over the head of Kelly. Mark to Bradley in front of O'Loughlin. Bradley's trying to con 50. Umpire Brian Sheehan having nothing of it. Goes short. I think it might have been intended for Sexton, but Ratton's got it.
Now you may even see Tony Lockett in a minute, because Stephen Silvani has come all the way down virtually the full forward, and Tony Lockett's with him inside Carlton's 50.
Won't go that far because it's been marked by Crouch.
There he is on screen. Looks like he's playing at full back.
It does.
Take him half an hour to get back up the other end of the ground.
Peter Philandia at half back. He gives it to Luff. Sydney's leading goal kicker with Lockett today with 3. Luff down towards right half forward. Strong grab by the skipper. Was he legged intentionally? No, he wasn't. It goes to Nix. Centering kick by him, looking for Cook. Not a good option, but Cook nearly comes down with a mark. Assistance from Seddington, shuffled out the back. Advantage paid. Free kick to Carlton. Koutafidis. Koutafidis on the rise at midfield. It could prove a costly turnover. Up towards Whitnell, who marks in front of Bays. Too far out the score. He wants to get it moving quickly and does. Can Silvani kick a goal? That's Silvani in towards full forward. Hamill! The mark!
Good play there by Carlton. Silvani particularly to run back down again to create the opportunity. And then rather than have a shot at goal, he set that up into the square. And Hamill with the sit. Terrific mark.
Well, this may be the sealer. It might be too early to say that with 12 minutes remaining, but it will make the difference. 4 goals. That's a tall order when you've only kicked 10 for the day. Hamill for his 3rd. Tony Lockett range, as we saw in the 3rd quarter. Similar angle. He kicks the goal.
Three important goals there, Pete, Aaron Hamill. One in each of these last 3 quarters, and none more important than that. Whitnell again being a focal point. Just so important to have someone like that across your half-forward line. There's the kick by Silvani. Not intended at goal, just to set it up in front of the square. And Hamill did the rest for him.
Blues by 24 points. 3 goals to Hamill, 5 goals to Brad Pearce. And Whitnell has been a star, 19 possessions and 8 marks. Allen to Fraser Brown, all tied up by Swash. White was dispossessed. Maxfield gives it across. Goes from Kelly across to Creswell inside 50. Backing back is Sexton. Too tall for Philandia. Spell on the interchange bench today for Michael Sexton. He's played a bit on the forward line as well. He's got the loose player wide. Finds White. Back to Fraser Brown. Along the boundary line. Hamill, a dangerous player. Goes to ground, actually crashed into by his teammate and Fraser Brown. Manton's been fantastic all day. Back to White. One of the youngsters making his mark for Carlton. There's Pearce, the danger man, a long way out from goals. He's virtually on centre wing. Kicks down towards 50. Koutafidis caught underneath the ball. Chance for Hume, goes to ground. Stevens over the top. Hume, a desperate player. to Fraser Brown around the corner. Whitnell wanted the bounce, hitting the ball hard was Bays. It was great play. Thumps the ball back out towards centre wing. Backing back is Manton. One of the rare times he hasn't marked the ball today. He's taken 15. Gets a pat on the back.
KB just
from
a quick
Hamill.
one with Brett Ratton on the boundary line. They've just been looking at his right leg. I'm not too sure whether it's an ankle or a calf, but it seems to be moving okay now, but must have just got a kick on it.
Seems to want to come back on anyway, Fly.
He's a hard man to keep down, Pete.
He's done a great job today. Deal best and fairest at Carlton. Throw in on the outer side, the opposite side. White traps back to his mark. Just on the ground, haven't seen much of him today. 4 goals the difference. Carlton led by 5 goals at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. It was 11 points the difference at three-quarter time. Carlton have gone ahead since then. Cook kicks to half forward in the marking contest. It rebounds to Nix off the hands of Kinnear. Maxfield had to wait. Beaumont goes down. Opportunity for O'Loughlin, who started well today. Bends that one around, but not enough. I think a behind. Wait on the goal umpire, but no, he's got it.
It looked as if he missed, Pete, didn't it?
Could have fooled me. Had my middle stump uprooted. 11-6 to 13-12. Let's look at that again. I was tricked by where the goal umpire went. He moved right across to the behind post.
It seemed to float to the right, Pete, didn't it? He didn't quite square it enough, Lachlan, but it's obviously gone right after it's gone through. Just a bit deceiving, that.
Plenty of time for Sydney. 10 minutes left. They trail by 18 points. 90 to 72. Luff in the ruck. Giving away plenty of inches to Allen. Taken away by Hamill. Danger here for Sydney. Hitting the ball hard again with Stevens. Good strong play. Cook didn't find a target. Hume weaves his way out of trouble. Is caught. No free kick. Desperate now. Seymour over the top of the ball. And they'll ball it up inside the centre square. Red Seymour on screen, and Creswell. What a game he's played for Sydney. 27 possessions and 5 marks and a goal. He's kept Sydney in the game. Kelly never stops running. Back to Swass. Gets the boos from the Carlton fans around the corner, down towards the half-forward line. Here's the youngster Kinnear. Traps the ball. Back to Cook. Just didn't quite hit the target. Creswell goes to the ground. Rice wants a free kick. They'll ball it up on the half-forward line for Sydney. We've seen a lot of players slip over today. Russell Morris told us before the game started. It's very slippery.
Don't bro.
As have really struggled to keep their footing. Hume, cop one. Kinnear goes to ground. They've forced the ball to 50. Kelly can't keep it in. And they'll toss it back in. 90 plays 72. 8.5 minutes of action left.
Has been a hoodoo ground for Sydney, shaping up as another in their line of defeats here by Carlton. Not just yet, maybe. Schwass only as far as Beaumont, marking in front of O'Loughlin.
You just sense, Pete, they needed to pinch one from this 4A forward, though, City, just to give them that extra bit of push forward.
2 goals is makeable. We may have a blood rule here, I think.
Yeah.
And no, the ball was touched off the boot, Peter, so
okay.
It'll be a ball up.
Thank you, Fly.
Well, this is a big play for Sydney.
Gives them a better chance. Let's see if they can make something out of it, Roscoe. Rice puts his body on the line, so too Brown. Cook, the umpire's down again. Philandia snaps but misses. That would have been handy, to put it bluntly. Philandia's second behind of the day. I think Rice is okay. The difference is 17 points. 3 goals will win it for Sydney. 8.25 minutes remaining in which to get them. Silvani done a great job on Lockett today. Kicks short, goes to Rice in the back pocket. Creswell, one of Sydney's best on the mark. Rice, the former Saint. Whitnell in front. Punch away by Bays. Franchina. Pretty well open forward line for Carlton. Allen, mark or free kick, neither from the umpire. Maxfield dispossessed, charge for Dunkley. Dunkley, long bomb down towards full forward. Lockett and Silvani, fans love these. Good crumbing there by Beaumont. He goes across the goals. Oh, fantastic effort to mark by Philandia, not rewarded. Brown comes in, still Philandia, gets it to Cook. Cook snaps, Well, kicks. Not really a snap at goal. Off the hands of Creswell. Kinnear gives it to Schwass. Beautiful smother there. Opens it up for Carlton. Allen now. And at Beaumont it was. Away they go, the Blues. Pearce. Can he kick another one? Goes short. Mark not taken. Camporelli still with a charge. Dragged down. Gives away the hand pass to Julio. Out of bounds or behind. Umpire indicates one behind.
And what great defensive play by two youngsters there.
Exactly.
In Crouch and young Saddington.
Yep. Under enormous pressure there, KB, I agree with you.
What about Beaumont?
Exactly.
Roscoe?
I was going to say,
Beaumont's out of the half-back was sensational.
Exactly. Yeah, Schwass thought he was going to set that up, but just charged it down.
Seymour to Saddington. What
Great
a future
stuff.
this youngster's got. 16 possessions and 7 marks. Finds Cook. Still inside the defensive 50. Sydney trail 73 to 91. Creswell has got Koutafidis to beat on centre wing. The kick's a poor one towards Fraser Brown. Hume traps it, goes short, finds Ronnie DiIulio. He's kicked a great goal in this last quarter. Spent a lot of time on the interchange bench. The Blues by 18 points. This for a 4-goal buffer. Right on 50. So it's one for the high flyers, and he's got it. It's Hamill. So strong overhead.
He's had 25 possessions, Kev, 7 marks, and he's kicked 3.
Well, he's on a tough angle. Not a lot of goal space open. In Orchard there, number 24, Sydney making certain that he doesn't come out too far. Hamill. He's got it. Great kick.
4 goals to Hamill. That's the ball game, folks.
Yeah, you suggest, Pete, that would make it pretty tough for Sydney. They needed that last goal and they went forward, got the advantage when the ball was touched, had a bounce down, couldn't score. The ball returns to the other end of the ground. You get someone like Hamill marking the footy like that and converting, importantly, second time in this quarter. And you certainly would suggest that would make it tough for Sydney.
I guess the power brokers at Princes Park knew something when they gave him Mark McClure's old number 36, champion centre-half forward. Kicked many goals in his time, and Hamill today kicking 4, and that you reckon would make the game safe. There he is again, the hand pass to Camporelli. Camporelli at goal, misses out of bounds or behind. Might be a point, I think. Scraped in for such. It did. His first score of the day. And obviously very disappointed. Would have been handy.
Glad he wasn't facing the camera, Pete. You had a lip read.
Stevens. I think we heard. Luff. Well, Sydney have had some good players today, but not as many good ones as Carlton. Might have always been a free kick against Hume. Franchina has it socket away by Crouch. That's the educated defender's kick to the boundary line from Sexton. It's out of bounds with a difference 25 points as we approach what would be time on in the old terminology. Boundary throw in centre wing. Just 5 minutes to go. Carlton should win the 3rd game of the season. Sexton from Manton. The latter has been fantastic. Pearce, a little look away hand pass to Hamill, who's kicked 4. Sexton, long bomb from the defender. Hit the post, hit the bottom of the post. I think you said before, Kev, he's only kicked the 1 goal for the year. That's about as close as you can go without getting another one.
Is that the 3 behinds for him, KB, today?
Yes.
Yes.
And there's Rodney Eade. We'll be knowing now that Sydney are facing their 3rd defeat in successive weeks. Lachlan on the half-back flank.
They've got 3 out of the next 4 at home, Kev, but even so, it's pretty tough. Richmond, Adelaide, the next 2 games.
Nix has been one of their better players today towards centre-half forward. Dunkley down on the forward line. Ratton at the bottom of the pack. Franchina's there as well, and he's been pinged for holding the ball.
I was just about to say, KB, the umpires have done all right today until that one decision.
Listen to the boos around the ground from the Carlton fans here at Optus Oval.
That was unbelievable, that one, and they've done all right today.
So Dunkley to take the kick. He's only kicked 7 goals in his career. He's in foreign territory here, 45 metres out. Dunkley floats it towards goal. Puts it through for a behind.
.25 points the margin, 3.5 minutes to go. So David Parkin will chalk up his 3rd win of the year. Beaumont has it. Just up from the pocket to Manton. Oh, they're starting sharing it around, and fair enough. Now Beaumont goes long. No real need to do that at the moment. Their lead is so big. Dunkley was in front. Creswell taken down in the tackle by Hume and gets one high, and so the free kick is going Sydney's way, and fans don't like it. And Craig Bradley comes in, and that was a very wise captain's move too. Wiser head should prevail. Creswell, certainly again one of Sydney's best, looks for Stevens, finds him at midfield. Allen, big jump down to Hume, gets it back. That's Sexton. Ratton. Diulio, who's been lively since he came on, tries to balk Luff, succeeds in doing that. The boundary line will be his friend here. It's out of bounds right next to the interchange gates, and Fly nearly got a touch. 25 points the margin, 2 3/4 minutes to go. So that will leave Hawthorn and Brisbane on the bottom of the ladder, separated by percentage with only 2 wins. Carlton has never won the wooden spoon. Maybe they won't get it in 98. Schwass. Plenty of Carlton players there. Allen should have marked it. Then again, they're all easy from here. Beaumont kicks to centre wing. Lewis backs his judgment. That might have been high. Ball jarred free. Hume. Bradley, the skipper, leading by example, puts his body on the line, kicks it back to a contest right off the edge of the centre square. Crouch has got it. Diulio's got it. Gets the ball up.
Some good signs for Carlton. That youngster on screen, young Hume, has been a very good player today. Franchina's shown a bit also for Carlton.
Hamill's done very well. Beaumont's done well.
Well, he's been threatening for a while, and today
Yes.
looks like he might have, turned the corner, taken some giant steps there for Simon Beaumont.
And of course, Whitnell's been very good as well.
So some signs here for Carlton in the second half of the season. Hume again to Camporelli. And some of their experienced players have had big games as well. Bradley's been a good player. Manton's been a good player.
KB, what about my man Pearce? 5 goals.
Pearce has been good. And Koutafidis at centre half back early in the game did a job on Mooney. So the Blues,
It's been a pretty good all-round effort, actually,
yeah,
Kev.
might be some good signs from the second half of the season. Manton pushing and shoving. Creswell just been great for the Swans today. Back to Rice. Flicks it out towards Camporelli, down towards the half-forward line. And here's another youngster in white. Haven't seen much of him today. Spent mainly most time on the interchange bench. Whitnell kicks the ball long. Koutafidis is the target. Caught from behind. Diulio. Can he kick another one across the face of goals? He's disappointed. And one behind. Kicked a terrific goal in this final quarter.
He likes a goal, doesn't he, Ronnie Diulio?
He's been pretty lively since coming off the bench.
14-16, should have been more. They missed a lot of shots from 30 or 35 metres, the Blues. They're still going to win. Stevens to Maxfield, to Luff. Lachlan started well, but got out of the game a little bit. Ratton, lovely knock on. Hamill got time to fumble. You'd say think music, Kev, I think, wouldn't you?
Yep.
That'd be the go. And White. Fresh legs by the youngster. Manton thought about going off. He didn't go over the mark, so he's okay. Lachlan standing on the mark. Gives it to Bradley. Certainly won't lose it, but he votes if you give it to your skipper.
25 possessions and 6 marks to Craig Bradley.
Yeah, he's been good. Taking up the maximum amount of time. He gives it to Beaumont. What's he doing down there? Back to Camporelli. Well, they can have a shot. They've chewed up enough at the clock.
He's going for the torp, going a big torp. Perhaps not.
No, it's going back to Fraser Brown. Well, just about back to centre wing.
We'll finish up with Steve Silvani soon at full back.
Rice. Manton, appropriate, he should take the mark. Right on siren time, he was fantastic. So today with the Blues, they won their third match of the year. Again, the hoodoo for the Sydney Swans coming to Princes Park, or Optus Oval as it's now known, to play Carlton. They got nutted here last year at round 21 by 35 points. Today they've lost by 26 points and they've lost their third match in a row. So the last 3 weeks they've been beaten by a total of 180 points odd. A little bit better today, but not quite good enough. Not as many good players as Carlton, certainly.
And Carlton go to Subiaco next weekend, Pete, to play Fremantle. So they're, as we've said a couple of times, their prospects in this second half of the season, if they can win more than they lose, it's a good way to finish off. And as KB said a few times, a lot of these younger players getting some terrific experience, and the old St Kilda teammates, Dean Rice, Tony Lockett, having a bit of a chin wag.
And we saw Carlton play West Coast Eagles over at Subiaco.
Let's go down to Russell Morris.
Very well that day as well. Russell's on the boundary line.
Yeah, thanks. So Aaron Hamill, congratulations. What a relief for the Carlton Footy Club.
It is, you know, just to play in front of this sort of crowd and just to have a win is just fantastic.
Is it a bit like that around Carlton, though? Because normally, the years gone by, you'd say if you had a loss, it'd be something different.
Oh, well, you know, we just trying to string a few together now. So, you know, we've won. We had a good win against Brisbane, lost against Geelong. Now, hopefully, we can just keep building.
So you've been working hard on the track, working hard. The guys have been sticking together.
Mate, yeah, we've been great together. It's been fantastic for the boys.
And congratulations yourself on your own form. You enjoyed your footy today.
Oh, I loved it, mate. I just love being out here.
Couple of big hangers, couple of good goals.
Oh, mate, you know,
that's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's just good for a win, mate.
Good on you, Kate. Get the smile on his face, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Fly, and why not? Good performance from Carlton today. 14-16 to 11-8. Aaron Hamill certainly one of their best. He finished up with 4 goals. Brad Pearce got 5. And at the other end of the ground, leading goal scorer for Sydney was Tony Lockett. 3 goals from, well, certainly limited opportunities.
Yeah, it's made pretty tough for him, Pete. There were very few times he could lead directly at the footy into some space in front of him. It was pretty congested, and the players coming down with the footy were under pressure a fair bit. There's a lot of up and under type kicks, which suits still Steve Silvani's type of play. He ran off him, so not a good day for Lockett at full forward. And Sydney was a fair bit of work to do, Pete, to turn this season around for them, to make sure they go this second half with some good form. 3 pretty ordinary losses for them.
Well, a little bit better today, certainly on the scoreboard. Out of the centre, how did you assess, given the fact that Stafford probably was injured in the second half, Carlton seemed to get it down a lot more than Sydney?
Yeah, I thought that they were much better getting out of the centre. I thought Stafford and Allen nullified themselves pretty much, but I thought the work rate of Bradley, Fraser Brown came into the go. I thought he did pretty well, Pete, considering the stress he's been under with his problems. So I think that Camporelli got into the game later on, and Hume, those sorts of players in and under were pretty good for them. Cresswell got a fair bit of the footy, Pete, for Sydney, but didn't have much assistance, unfortunately.
Kelly's game, 11 and 10, kicked a great goal. How would you assess his work rate?
Oh, look, he worked very hard, but just didn't have enough support, Pete, and was had someone on him the whole game. I thought Nix was pretty good. Saddington tried hard, going through it. Bays and Roos, who alternated at centre-half back on Whitnell, struggled a bit. Dunkley worked pretty hard. Swass went out of the game after the first quarter a bit. Lewis couldn't get into it, and unfortunately Philandia and Maxfield didn't have as much of an influence, I'm sure, that Rodney Eade would like them to have.
Break up
Carlton knows we're all the champions. They like to send us, we'll keep our ends up, and then they know that they've been playing against the famous old dark blues.
Only the 3rd time they've sung the song this year. Carlton victorious over Sydney at Optus Oval, and the Blues victorious 11-8 to 14-16.